because we talked a lot about you working with Bivol, and I know that Bivol had two tremendous, amazing fights with Arthur, and they're going into a third fight, which is highly debated depending on what people like. You know, it's some people felt Arthur won this one, Bivol won this one, or whatever the case is, they're 1-1.
Right.
But going to the Arthur fight, if he is victorious. There's been a lot of talks, and I don't believe this personally, but I understand that maybe adding a different flavor is nice in the pot where people wanted to see David versus Bivol, just to change certain things up. But they did vacate the WBC because they claimed that they had an obligation for the trilogy in that sense.
Right.
Um, they sparred each other before and it was sparring, but if Bivol does become victorious and beats Arthur in a third fight, and I know we have to see how that fight plays out too, and we have to see how David looks. And I'm assuming he fights in summer, but is there some sort of prediction or breakdown or just a perspective you have that if Bivol and David did meet up, or if they were to meet up, and there wasn't a third fight obligation?
Um, I think if Bivol and David fought, this will be one of those um, fights where you see a boxer against a puncher. Uh, a lot of people, from what I know, they were saying that Davis, since he moved up to 75, he doesn't have the same power. It's not the same pop. It's not the same. But they're not the ones getting hit by him. Uh, I do know for a fact that David is fighting guys who's they're all around the same size. They're all around the same size. Bivol is strong, and not to get too deep into it, but Bivol is he's Russian. Let's keep it a buck, man. Those guys they train a different way. They train power first. Bivol's favorite fighters, he opened up and expressed that he loves Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather. Like, so it threw me completely off to hear. Like, I hear everybody and like depending on the region, maybe they just say this to me because they know I'm American, but most of everybody who's from the Russian country or the Ukraine country, for real, they always tell me Mike Tyson was the first guy that they really start watching. It was Mike Tyson. And then a little bit of the fighting style, you can kind of see who's favored, who they're more similar to being like, and you can tell who they were influenced by. Bivol said his favorite fighter was Floyd, Sugar Ray Leonard, and then again, you'll see the way he's fighting. He's working on his in and out game the whole time he's working. But then you go, oh, you can kind of see it. So the funniest thing about Bivol is how he moves. It's not that American swag with it. It's still it's bouncing, but it's back and forth the way he works. He's not working angles like real smooth and calm. No, it's
I think they call it the pendulum step, the Russian
yeah,
Soviet
yeah,
style.
yeah. Uh-huh. But if you look, it's the funniest thing ever, man. Because go back and watch Inoue, and then watch Bivol, and watch Inoue again, and then watch Bivol, and you're gonna see a lot of similarities in the way that they move. You're gonna see a lot of similarities in the way that irk and jerk, that kind of how they move. Um, Inoue comes in a lot more though. Inoue, he comes in and be a lot more aggressive, flat-footed throwing punches because he believes in his pop. He believes that he's lightning fast, and when he's hitting like thunder. Bivol doesn't necessarily go off of that, and that's a little bit of a difference between them two. Really, is that Inoue is more aggressive, but their styles are very similar. Uh, Bivol fighting like that, I think that'll be an in and out game that we have yet to see. Because look, when he fought Caleb Plant, if Caleb was more conditioned, we don't know how that fight would have went. But it seemed like Caleb Plant kind of it looked like he kind of gassed out like around the
Like
fifth
this.
or sixth round,
Yeah, yeah.
respectfully. Something, it just seemed like, he just wasn't as explosive no more. He just, like, his punches kind of was like light as hell. and he letting he's making the noises, but it's nothing really behind those punches. So what David does is he starts walking through that. He starts walking through it, getting towards you. And then you go and but what saved Caleb was his legs, his feet. So when those certain punches he'd grab, Bivol is not necessarily like that. Bivol is he's a lot harder. You know, that's the moment where and I've been around these guys. They're like, no, I'm Russian. I'm not, and that's all of a sudden where that country means a whole lot. No, I'm not just going down. I'm not going out. I'm not going out like that. So Bivol has he has that about him too. We seen it when he was fighting Arthur. When
Yeah.
Arthur cracked at him, he like, no, so what? And that's one of the biggest reasons why I did like Bivol or like when he does get hit, he doesn't like back out and be like, oh man, well, I gotta switch my game up. No, he's still in there and he's still fighting and he's still performing pretty much the same way. He's trying to make the adjustments to not get hit the same, but at the same time, he's still up in there trying to fight and he's looking to try to stop you. He's looking to hit you with these big shots. And it's just I want to see what Benavidez brings to that table because Benavidez fought against the Southpaw kid Morale, but Morale, in my opinion, Morale got tired because Morale has never fought at that magnitude, not at that level.
Mhm.
He haven't fought that many rounds. So then once he got to a certain amount of rounds that he wasn't used to, then his success starts to flow. Like it just starts to deplete. And now he looked like he's just a standing target to a man who's used to going 12 rounds.
Mhm.
I'm throwing like that. So Bivol is used to going 12 rounds. He's used to going that many rounds. So that fight, man, it's going to be crazy. But honestly, um, I would love for David to shut me up on it. But I think Bivol is going to win that fight.
Very interesting, man. I know they have history, so I'm definitely
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
I'm being real. Like I would, and I would take it like a man if David was like, "Hey, B, shut up." I was like, "You got me, bruh." But I think Bivol, um, how he fights is gonna be real hard for David to throw those same kind of punches and walk him down because David Benavidez is not the kind of puncher Arthur is. Arthur
Yeah.
is pound for pound, and that's the only guy right now that's making Bivol move the way he's moving and flurry of punches. You know, letting your hands go at a rapid speed and moving, which David does very well. I don't think that's going to be it just to make Bivol kind of stop moving. Like the only time you see Bivol stop moving at moments is when he's being hit by Arthur because he has to brace himself. If he don't have to brace himself and he can kind of catch and pull and yeah, I think Bivol's going. He can definitely pull that fight off and win.
Look, Brandon, look, I really appreciate all the insight, and I was glad that you were able to tell your stories, and hopefully that you can get, one of these big fights with a big name. The fight fans, they know who you are. That Boyacek knockout still lives ingrained with every hardcore boxing fan out there, and not only the fact that you're a fighter and you're training people. Hopefully, if anything, OTX gives you like a commentary gig because there's a lot of gems. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
appreciate
So,
that.
so, so I don't know if you got to talk to Brandon or whoever needs to have you sit ringside and start.
Britain Harden used to be my guy. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know if we close no more. No, I'm just joking, man. That's my guy. I'm cool with all of them though. Tony, I
Mhm.
nicknamed him Overtime Tony. Tony Overtime. They're my guys. They cool.
So maybe we can get that. I think it would be dope. So if
I
anything,
appreciate that. Thank you.
a lot of insight. So for the fight fans who want to get a little bit more or follow you on social media in hopes of new news dropping anytime soon, where can they follow you at?
Oh, Cannon Nation Boxing. Well, I'm Cannon Nation on Instagram. My boxing gym is Cannon Nation Boxing. Facebook, I'm Brandon Adams. Cannon Nation, it's the same thing. I'm that guy. I'm saying I'm the same guy. I'm trying to get my Twitter fingers up, man. It's just real hard. I'll be so busy, you know what I'm saying? Being a father.
You just got to
Being,
talk trash. All you got to do
yeah,
is
man.
call
I
out,
see
talk
that. That's what
trash.
people love. It gets
Just,
the people going. I see it.
That's Twitter now. So.
Yeah, God damn.
All right, awesome. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thank you.